see what happens with that. Okay, Chad Dawson news. Chad Dawson is signed to fight Glenn Johnson April 12th. It looks like it's going to be the date. We'll see if that is the firm date. And there was a purse bid for Dawson versus Adrian Diacono. You know, they were supposed to fight already, and Diacono had an injury. It went to purse bids, and that fight was ordered for the WBC. They did make some kind of arrangement. Maybe it's Diacono versus Dawson after Dawson beats Glenn Johnson or something. We'll see what the deal with that is. But anyhow, I'm glad Dawson and Glenn Johnson are fighting. So that should be interesting. Tamaz Adamak is supposedly fighting O'Neal Bell. It's in the works by Main Event. We'll see if that actually happens. We haven't seen O'Neal Bell in a little bit. You know, he went and pulled his disappearing act. We'll see if that actually happens. Adamak fighting at cruiserweight now. O'Neal Bell should definitely win that fight. As long as he's training and comes in shape, he should definitely win that fight. The only way he doesn't win that fight is if he doesn't come in shape or something, I think. Not that Adamak's a bad fighter, he's a good fighter, but O'Neal Bell's better. And in shape, O'Neal Bell's better, at least. Okay, Antonio Tarver said he wants to unify the light heavyweight titles. Not going to happen, but he wants to. He wants Clinton Woods, called out Clinton Woods, since Jeff Lacey isn't going to fight him right now. Good on Jeff Lacey for not fighting him, for not taking that kind of fight where you'd go in. He's basically admitting, yeah, I'm not ready for that kind of fight right now. Good for you. More fighters need to do this. Swallow your pride and say, I don't need that fight right now. Come back later, maybe. But right now, no. And yeah, Jeff Lacey does not need that fight right now. Good on you. James Toney, Vasily Jirov, James Toney taking jabs at each other through the boxing press. Probably they'll end up fighting at heavyweight. Toney should win. Who knows? Toney should win the fight. We'll see how bad of shape he comes in for it. They should win the fight. I mean, it's James Toney. Jirov, if anything, isn't better than he was the first time. If anything, he's worse. True, Toney's worse. I'd probably say another decision in that one. Probably 12-round decision if it's scheduled for 12 rounds. But Toney should easily beat Jirov if he comes in halfway blob shape, you know. Super middleweight to junior middleweight news. Let's just that section there. Okay. Bernard Hopkins versus Calzaghe. Supposedly signed. Supposedly pretty much done. Looking to be probably April 19th as of this showing. Who knows? That's supposed to be when it is. We'll see if that actually happens or not. Hopkins versus Calzaghe, that's a very interesting fight. Hopkins has a little more age on him now. Could that affect it? I think so. And Calzaghe is a much busier fighter. He throws his hands a lot more. That's going to affect the judges. Calzaghe's probably going to fight a time or two after this, regardless of the result. Hopkins, who knows? Hopkins, who knows anything on Hopkins? So that's going to be a very interesting fight. Hopkins is going to need to win decisively. Or he could just have the fix in, like in the Winky Wright fight. I guess that's always a possibility too, so who knows? Where he clearly loses, but they give it to him anyhow, you know. But anyhow, John Duddy going to be fighting on the Klitschko-Bragimov undercard. We'll get to that later. Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya looks like he's going to be fighting May 3rd in Mexico at the Azteca Stadium. It's going to be against Steve Forbes. I guess he thinks Steve Forbes will be like Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather, sort of. Boxer style, I guess. More of a technical style, definitely. I guess that's his logic in fighting Steve Forbes. And this is going to be May 3rd. And then in September he's wanting to fight Mayweather again. Looks like that's almost a done deal too for De La Hoya versus Mayweather 2. The rematch to happen. Don't see a point in a rematch except for both of them to make a lot more money again. I think Mayweather will just beat De La Hoya even more decisively this time than he did the first time, which I thought was pretty damn clear that he won the first time. Somewhat close, but decisive, nonetheless, in their first fight. Rematch? Do we really need a rematch? I don't think so. But we'll see what happens with it. I'm surprised De La Hoya is fighting Steve Forbes, kind of. I would have thought he would have gone with someone like Ike Quartey again or something, especially being in the Azteca stadium, Estadio Azteca. Looks to me like he would have fought someone like Ike Quartey or something. You know, someone that's going to be there in front of him the whole time. Steve Forbes, much smaller guy than De La Hoya. So it's going to be a mauling there, but whatever. It'll be fun to watch. It'll be on HBO. I don't think it's supposed to be a pay-per-view, so